What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another SLA video. We got a special one for you guys, but first, before we go on any further, because this is going to be a guild video guide, I do want to say a few shout outs real quick. First off, to all my guilds, MNC Zeus being number 1 yet again on the S1 rank, Payne's Angels being number 2. You guys make me so damn proud. Daddy Payne may be walking with the cane, but he's so damn proud of his boys and girls. All right, so we have ourselves Rift Walkers, MNC Hades at 25 and 37, Chronos at 50, Ares at 65, Demeter S2 at 21, Kratos S2 at 23, Ragnarok S2 at 37, and Athena S3 at 9. Keep up the amazing work, guys. I want to say a big shout out, and also for those who beat up that ass on that queen, Payne's Angels 2061 Rage Count, Zeus 1864, MNC Hades 763, and the rest going down the list. I just want to say, if you are looking for a good community, the best community, let's be real, one of the funnest people, some of the funnest people out there, and some of the best guilds out there, please join the Discord and check out the recruitment section of our guild. Now, without further ado, I do want to say a big shout out to Ryan for this, because Ryan, aka Holy Hells, is the leader of Payne Angels. He and Sod and Hesham put together this incredible guide to push your damage even further to about 36 million plus, almost getting up to 40 billion at this point. The other video shows that later on, but I want to show you guys this. This is a great breakdown. So without further ado, this is Ryan's premiere breakout video on YouTube. This is on an unlisted video, but I'm gonna walk through this now. Ryan sounds like he's been smoking a lot, sucking a lot of dick. I'm just joking. He's a great dude. I love him to death. Holy Hells, thank you so much for putting this together. Now, without further ado, guys, we're going to watch this. We're going to watch the step-by-step tutorial. This will explain to you some of the tips and tricks you may have never known and may automatically increase your overall damage exponentially. So let's go without further ado. Let's go through this. I'm going to fast forward a little bit of this because a lot of this is just a tutorial and explanation, and I know some of this already, so we'll fast forward. So here we go.
All right, guys, Holy Hell here. I've gotten a lot of questions on how this guild boss works between myself, Hesham, Sod, even some people from Zeus, Jugo, Kinetic, Black Zone, Miyuki. We've figured out quite a bit. So there's a bunch of timings that we need to try and meet. As well as a way that, credit to Sod, figured out the most minimal way to utilize a pausing trick, the manual.
And we'll show you guys that in the video itself. So there's a pausing trick here that allows Essel to not cast her ultimate at an inopportune time and use your skill 2, which allows her to get more stacks of her prey of the week, obviously, which is a huge part of the actual DPS increase for most of these fights. So that's something I definitely want to show you guys, and he does do a great job breaking this down. Now, Ryan also does talk a little bit about here, because again, I'll fast forward this a little bit because it's a 12-minute video. I'll break it down for you guys. He does talk about defense penetration not mattering quite as much in this run anymore, so you want to put as much focus on damage increase. Of course, the main stats, crit damage and crit rate, those are going to be your main stats. Now, if you're looking for the proper gear to wear for each of these units, I do have a quick breakdown of that in regards to what they're all using. He actually does do a great job explaining that as well too in this video, but he doesn't show it. So Kanaya uses 2-piece 1-hit kill, curse, and expert. Gina uses guardian and self. Essel uses greed. So that's team 1. Okay, that's your fire team. All right, so guardian, self, greed, and 2-piece 1-hit kill, curse, and expert. Hansimi wears angel and white with COF. And then Bora wears toughness and expert, full curse, and 2-piece curse. Toughness are all options, so you can do that as well with a shitload of crit and crit damage. Choi wears curse and obsidian. Thomas wears curse, obsidian. Gunhee wears full greed, and Chow wears full curse and expert. Okay, so those are the sets that you're not going to be able to see in this video, but he does kind of refer to the sets he's used in the past, and that's what he's talking about. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the actual run itself, because I think this is important. I kind of gave you guys that full breakdown, and you'll see kind of the trick. Now, the one thing I said when I first ever made my video on this boss is you try to cast your Grimoire right away and hopefully catch the boss as it lands, and then be able to shadow step through it and then get through. But you'll see what he does here, and he does a great job explaining this. Okay, so watch. So you'll see right over here the damage increase starts.
I start with Grimoire, and I'm dodging into the boss as he hits me.
Okay, and that's what I'm talking about right there.
These timings are important, so I'll watch
Right
through
here.
that. So with the more
Bam. You see that? This is important right here. You need to see this. And this is what I was telling you guys in my first video ever. So Ryan, sorry, I'm going to just jump in here real quick while you're explaining to kind of break it down further. So this erosion debuff needs to land for this to actually work. If you don't see this, you restart. And the timing is absolutely important. And you guys can see here, he's already dodged out of the jump, and he's got his shadow step here, but he doesn't shadow step first. What he does is he'll do vacuum wave first in order to keep the boss in front of you. And keeping the boss in front of you is important because it allows the boss to do the stomping move that it does, keeping it standing still and not moving around, which it does if you are in the behind section, that ass, or if you're on the side. Now watch.
the dodge, the vacuum.
There's vacuum wave. You guys can see right there the debuff for vacuum wave is there. That's the damage increase right on the boss. You guys can see the dodge now. Now you can see right here when he does dodge. Sorry, Ryan, I'm going to pause this for a second here. You see when he does the dodge, he instantly goes into shadow step, right? And right away you'll see from here he's going to perform his moon shadow daggers. Watch.
And the shadow.
Right there, you guys can see it just started, and there's the cooldown right there.
Shadow step. As soon as you get behind him, you're going to want to be using moon shadow. You see, I already started it, and you're going to see our first trick here.
This is the trick.
As soon as you start that moon shadow, I'm going to pause the menu here.
So you pause the menu, and the reason why you pause the menu, you can see Essel here has full super bar. You don't want her casting her super because she actually reduces the amount of stacks she does due to this being there in the first place. So what you actually want her to do, and what he's going to do very shortly, you'll see right over here, is he pauses the game, right? And then you'll go into your menu screen, right over here. You'll see in a second, right here. Actually, I don't know if he does it very soon or not. Hold on.
Use your mag slash?
Yeah, he's already done it. So you go into your menu screen, you go down to the bottom where controls is, and you turn autos to manual, okay? And you can see here, she's still got her alt going. And then he'll go back in after
then I'm going to go into my...
after he does his magnifying slashes, so go back here for a second. You'll see he does his magnifying slashes. When he completes them, right there, you'll pause the game again, and you'll set the thing to super. You only do this one time per round, okay? Because look, parry of the week instantly gives you 5 extra stacks right there.
Then I'm going to go into my
look, 15, right?
And I use the overshadow as my second cue to swap back to automatic. That 3 or 4 second period is all you need to get Essel to use her skill 2 instead of her ultimate. So it's relatively minor, but it has a huge impact on stacks and helps out a lot to where you don't have to worry about that anymore. Second,
and that is a big part. You'll see a lot of runs that are perfect or do really well. The boss has 100 stacks after both breaks are done. The ones that do poorly, because of course that affects Kanae's damage and everyone else's damage, that's especially with fire units, you don't have the 100 stacks. You have 85 to 80, and it's a big damage increase boost, especially to fire, right?
Second thing on the overshadow, the QTEs take priority. If you have both of them based on both of them are available.
Yeah, so when both are available, here Ryan explains that if you are in front of the boss, Thunderstorm is available. If you're behind the boss, Overshadow is available. So depending where you are in regards to your positioning, that's the QTE that'll pop up for you. So you can see right over here, for example, you set it back to auto, and right there is QTE that was available. I don't know if you guys just saw that a second ago, but it was actually Thunderstorm right there, right? If you're behind the boss, the QTE that will be available won't be Thunderstorm, it'll actually be Overshadow.
So I catch you
and that's the one you'll see next. So there you guys go. Grimoire again. Shadow Step. Vacuum Wave. Moon Shadow Dagger.
The whole shebang.
Dodge.
I wish I didn't catch that. You actually...
That little Shadow Step that he just did there caused him a little bit of time loss right there. So the score actually could have been higher. Believe it or not, a couple seconds can make a big impact on your score.
The time to mess up
so there's another Shadow Step coming up.
An extra extreme evasion.
Right? And then you guys can see right here, this is important. Okay, so you go to the side that has the weakest amount of people. So in this case, he's helping out the side that has the least amount of people. You start off with Vacuum Wave.
Both ad phases actually work out about the same. There's only one difference really between them, but it comes down to boss positioning. Because I kept the boss in that side, this first one, everybody's always going to go to this right side. You always want to skip the first ad or two and go to the next couple. And it's going to be the same process where I'm going to Vacuum Wave.
Right there, look, Thunderstorm kills them. And then use your magnifying slashes here to kill as many as you can, or assist to kill as many as you can.
I want to make sure that I have at least 1, if not 2 mag slashes to use on the last few. After I do that, I'm going to Overshadow to kill him.
There's Overshadow right there.
Now, the positioning when she unburrows can be pretty important. I've since improved this, and I move further over to get her to turn a little bit more. That way, as you can see, my vacuum wave is on cooldown. That way I can use my vacuum wave sooner in the process of her combo. So I get to a little bit to her left, or to the left, I guess. But really, I would want to go a little bit more and make her turn so that I can vacuum wave a little bit sooner. And
there's the vacuum wave.
First stop.
And there's the shadow step right there, right?
Going through the rest of your rotation. This is
usual
your first
rotation
opportunity, and I didn't do it on this run, but you can use your ultimate here. The next time you need your ultimate is going to be on phase 2 ads, and this will, if you use it right here, it will be up just in time for you to use it on the next ads.
So there's another place right there that the score went down a little because Ryan forgot to use his ultimate. So feel free to use it here. And like he said, it's available for you in the next set of ads. But remember, a lot of people think it doesn't actually do damage on ads. It does actually do damage on ads. It's just the game's a little glitchy and you don't really see it until you see their health bars go down.
So I don't use it here. I go through this process. You don't want to use these QTEs too much.
Okay, so this QTE that he used here, the Thunderstorm one, I usually save this personally when the bar is up, because when you do the QTE, I find that the time stops more and the bar actually lasts longer, and it allows your units to break him much quicker. So SL and Gun Heat could usually get this done, or you can help with Vacuum Wave, of course, right?
This is a time, a way to delay the
right there. This is where I usually delay it.
The time. The boss will go into break around 157. I want to get her to go into that break and not use another skill set.
So what he's saying is he doesn't want the boss to go past the 157 mark. He's at 155 right now, by the way. So the boss should be in break phase around that time.
Because I want her to go through the rest of her abilities and dive at a certain time.
Okay, and the reason why you don't want to prolong that, as he mentioned, is the more you prolong that fight, the more that break phase is going to be in place. And the less time she's going to do the rest of her rotation, which allows you to take advantage of her.
So, making sure you get that break, taking the shadow step, going through your rotation. Every time you're going through these rotations,
And you guys can see here, one thing I want to point out is he doesn't do the dash and double dash because there's no plum sword, right? That's just one dash, three
doing the same
magnify
process,
slashes.
So using what's available.
Okay, so there you guys see right there. There's a breath, dodge the breath, obviously.
For an additional
vacuum wave. There's a shadow step.
I'm only going to do that those 2 times. That would be the last one. I have these other QTEs available. I'm not going to use those because we're about to go into the next ad phase.
So don't shadow step.
130 mark. You want to make sure
don't slow it down.
Your QTEs. You're not using vacuum wave anymore. You're not using Grimoire anymore because the boss is going to go and burrow around 127.
So 127, okay, is the mark.
So at this point, I'm going to just hold these abilities. She burrows, and I can move on to the next set of ads. Again, because of the positioning that I did, when she first unburrowed, I moved to my left, her right, so that she would turn and we would still be in that corner. I want to keep her in that corner so that all the hunters are on the same side again.
There you guys go.
So that when we get to these ads, I can do the exact same thing I did in the first time. Where I'm going to the second set of ads, I'm using Vacuum Wave, I'm using the QTE. And then the only difference here is that instead of moving along the line of ads like I did the first time, I'm going to skip the next couple ads and move.
So see how he skips them? It goes on the back here.
These back 3, I'm going to use mag slashes on. I'm going to ultimate, and I'm going to use overshadow. That should nearly kill them, if not kill them. And then the phase is done.
There it is, the ultimate.
And that's the whole process. When she goes back into the unburrow portion here, the big thing is
that killed everybody.
Get your skills off. You want to get Grimoire, you want to get back.
One thing I want to point out, if you are far away from her and she is nowhere near you, she will start casting her break right away. So you want to make sure you are positioning yourself close to where she's unburrowing.
Vacuum wave off before, like as soon as you can, because you want them to be available for the next break period.
And you guys can see there the timing was a bit off because I think Eclipse ended by the time he did his magnifying slashes, so he might have missed one buff on Eclipse.
I'm holding on to my abilities here because I'm waiting for her to go into break.
Yeah, there's the break now, so 54 seconds.
Goes into break, which I got extremely lucky.
And this is what I was talking about, the break right there, right? See how it breaks? See that timing right there? So that thunderstorm stops the break bar from doing her break bar faster. It stops time completely, so it allows the rest of your units. You guys see he didn't have vacuum wave available.
It's the timer.
Right?
This final timer is the most important part of this fight. You want as much time as possible for this last part from the last break through the rest of the fight, because you get, as you can see, the very first debuff is a 20 stack. I don't even know what it's called. It's a damage increase buff that the queen gets when she breaks. You combine that with the stacks that we're getting from Essel.
There's the Essel stacks and the
stacks. Yeah. This is where you're going to do all your damage.
Yeah, so just so you guys are aware what Ryan's referring to. So this 20 stacks below is the damage increase that she gets from breaking. This is the Essel stacks that you want, and she's going to get to 100 at this point because of that little auto trick. And then you get your expert stacks as high as possible. In this case, he's got 64. He's got 100 curse,
so
right?
You want to maximize this time as much as
this
possible.
Is going to be your biggest time for damage increase.
5 seconds less on this phase, my damage drops down 2 billion. Easy. So the timings are what's important here on these break phases. Stacks are good, and yeah, we want those. But even on this run, I think I only end up with 95. And you go through the rest of the process. So get the break, and
you guys can see 85. The big 95, yeah, he's right. It's at 95. So not guaranteed 100, but close enough.
You want to catch any shadow steps.
Any shadow steps at this point, and you just continue your rotation. And you just rinse and repeat, right? At this point, it's just all rinsing and repeating. And then you do your ultimates whenever available. And then you guys can see here now Ryan scores at 36.8 billion. So this is all very important tips and tricks. So I want to say a big shout out to Ryan. If you are not part of my Discord, please join my Discord. It's always in every single description. All we request that you verify your number so we know you're a real person. By the way, Discord verifies and not me. I don't want to know your damn numbers. But definitely join the Discord. And we have people like Ryan. We have experts playing this game on a constant basis. Mouse is on my Discord. We have Burr on my Discord for testing. We have Isu64 on my Discord. We got a lot of people on my Discord who are incredibly top gamers. And they are always sharing knowledge and always putting the community first. So please hit that Discord, go join, and make sure you guys give a big W to Ryan in the comment section. So thank you again, Ryan, for everything. Everybody else, Hashem Saad, everybody in Zeus that was involved. Thank you guys for this amazing guide. Hope this helps some of you guys increase your score. Check out some of those tips and tricks, and look, no FPS trick, guys. We didn't have to lower it to 5 or any of this bullshit. You're doing it like it's real. All right, guys, thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.